Hello everyone, my name is Wiki Zhong. Today I'm going to talk about the childhood of slave children. Not all African American was enslaved, but the children's slave was most popular during that time. Free children were struggling for their lives in a white-dominated society, carefully holding on to their fragile status. Slave children under the master or parent's condition lived in fear of punishment, and isolation from other children made them like a machine instead of the human being. Even if Harriet Jake was born into slavery, but she had a happy childhood even after her mother's death. She lived with her mother's mistress, who taught her to read and write. However, the happiness would not last so long. When Jake was 12 years old, her mother's mistress was dead and sent her to mistress' niece. But since the niece only 3 years old, Jack's master was Dr. James Nockham, who is a bad person always torment Jake. After 7 years mistreatment, Jake escaped from Nockham. He traveled to New York City and lived close to Willie's family. At the same time, around 1850, the Congress published a fugitive slave law which announced that slaves could travel all the way to Canada or find a way to purchase themselves or by other person in order to attain true freedom. So William's family has given Jake liberty to work with her brother. After her finding a job at North Star, her friends convinced her to write her life as a slave. The book Incidents in the Life of the Slave Girl came out as the first one to openly discuss the sexual harassment induced by slave women. As we all know from Jake's book Incident in the Life of the Slave Girl, it depicts a little small girl, Linda, who grew up and had a happy childhood until 6 years old. He was being sent to a mother's mistress, who treated her well and taught her to read. But after a few years, she has been sent to a new master, Dr. Flat, who treated her cool and neglectful. This story about Linda was kind of similar story from Jack's personal life. She recorded this in detail because she wanted to let everybody know how a slave was struggling to survive. Made people agree with her idea about giving freedom to the slave was great things. Next, we will look into detail about childhood slave living condition. First, I will talk about the house. Slaves often allocated at the area of plantation, for they lived with a master at home. But when they left, the slave usually take care of everything for their master, such as young children, second clothing. Slaves often would be given 1 pair of shoes and 3 items of underwear a year, which made by the coarse material. Third, food. The slave usually eats cornbread or fat meat because they do not have time to cook on their own, and the master did not want to spend money to buy food for them. Lastly, treatment. The slave treats the woman worse than men when they grow up because of the sex harassment. Besides, there was also some negative influence about slave of children. First, the marriage not being legally recognized because they have been treated as a machine and do not have power to marry with someone else. Second, children may not have a fully functional worker because of they smaller than an adult. But the master treated children like a future asset or tool. Third, the lack of knowledge. Because nobody sent them to school. Even if they went to school, the limited resources in campus are really exhausted, and malnourished children often dead. Some interesting fact I found was there was around 140 141.6 million children are in a slave. 114 million children labor below age 14, and 15.5 million children are a domestic worker, but most of them are the girl instead of a boy. That is amazing for me, because the huge amount of worker is a pretty young, smaller girl. In conclusion, the childhood of slave is terrible because of living condition about children's slave was the small size of the dirty rooms at the master house, and they often taken care of everything for the master. Plus, the master only gives them little clothes to wear along with one single pair of shoes, and also the food is also awful, such as cornbread, fat meat. Therefore, under the master control, they did not have power to marry with someone. Plus, the lack of knowledge, which made them become less human beings, worked as a machine for the master. Here is my citation. Thank you for you guys listening.